LEGO has officially revealed what may be one of the most impressive Lord of the Rings sets ever created. And honestly, this thing is absolutely gigantic. The company just announced a brand new Minas Tirith set based on the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and it instantly became the largest Lord of the Rings LEGO set in history. The iconic White City of Gondor has finally arrived in brick form, and the scale of this release is honestly insane. The set contains a massive 278 pieces, making it not only the biggest Lord of the Rings LEGO set ever made, but also one of the biggest LEGO sets of any kind ever released. To put that into perspective, it now ranks among enormous collector sets like the LEGO Titanic, Eiffel Tower, and Death Star. And yes, the price is just as huge. LEGO confirmed the Minas Tirith set will cost $649.99, making it the most expensive Lord of the Rings set ever released by the company. The set officially launches June 1st for LEGO Insiders members and June 4th for everyone else. And based on fan reactions online already, this thing is probably going to sell incredibly fast. For longtime Lord of the Rings fans, Minas Tirith is one of the most iconic locations in the entire franchise. It is the capital city of Gondor and the setting for the legendary Battle of Pelennor Fields in Return of the King. It is also where Aragorn is finally crowned King Elessar after Sauron's defeat. So LEGO clearly knew this location needed to feel massive and cinematic. And honestly, the design team went completely overboard in the best possible way. The exterior of the build recreates the entire layered White City using microscale architecture, showing the famous circular walls climbing upward toward the citadel. The city itself looks enormous on display, with towering white structures, detailed fortifications, and miniature streets stretching across the mountainside. But what makes the set especially impressive is that it is not just a display piece. LEGO also built playable interior sections hidden inside the structure. When parts of the city open up, fans can access full minifigure-scale locations, including the famous throne room inside the citadel. That means collectors are getting both a giant display model and detailed movie-accurate scenes at the same time. And of course, LEGO packed the set with major characters from the films. The set includes 10 minifigures total. Fans are getting Gandalf the White, Aragorn as King Elessar, Faramir, Denethor, Peregrine Took, Arwen, and 4 soldiers of Gondor. Several characters also come with movie-accurate accessories, including Gondor's shields, helmets, spears, and Aragorn's royal crown. And yes, according to reports, Denethor even includes his infamous cherry tomatoes from the movie scene fans still talk about years later. One of the coolest details is how LEGO designed the set to represent multiple moments from Return of the King simultaneously. The city can be displayed both during the Siege of Minas Tirith and after Aragorn's coronation. So fans can basically recreate both the darkest and most triumphant moments of the movie, depending on how they pose everything. The release is also part of the 25th anniversary celebration for the Fellowship of the Ring, which first released back in 2001. That anniversary timing makes this set feel even more special for longtime Tolkien fans. And LEGO is also including a bonus collectible for early buyers. Anyone purchasing Minas Tirith during the launch period while supplies last will receive a free gift with purchase set called Grond. For non-Lord of the Rings fans, Grond is the gigantic wolf-headed battering ram used by Sauron's army to smash through the gates of Minas Tirith during the battle. The bonus set even includes 2 Mordor orc minifigures. And honestly, fans already expect the Grond bonus to disappear extremely quickly because these LEGO launch gifts usually become rare collector items almost immediately. What is really fascinating is how aggressively LEGO has expanded its Lord of the Rings line recently. After years without major Tolkien sets, LEGO suddenly released Rivendell, Barad-dûr, the Shire, Sauron's Helmet, and now Minas Tirith within only a few years. And every release keeps getting bigger. Previously, Rivendell held the record as the biggest Lord of the Rings set, but Minas Tirith beats it by more than 2,000 pieces. Fans online are already calling this LEGO's most ambitious fantasy build ever attempted. Some collectors are even comparing it to massive Star Wars and Harry Potter collector sets because of the scale, detail, and display presence. Of course, the gigantic price tag is also creating debate online. Some fans are praising the set as a masterpiece worthy of the cost, while others say the nearly $650 price feels impossible for average collectors. But regardless of the price debate, almost everyone agrees the build itself looks absolutely stunning. For Lord of the Rings fans, Minas Tirith has always been one of the most visually iconic fantasy cities ever created. And now LEGO has turned that legendary location into one of the biggest and most detailed fantasy sets the company has ever made. Which means for collectors, Tolkien fans, and LEGO builders alike, Gondor officially calls for aid once again.